T-minus 3 minutes and counting.
TLS's go for ET, LO2 pressurization.
And we'll prepare now to retract the gaseous oxygen vent arm, the GOX beanie cap.
TLT, clear caution warning memory, verify no unexpected errors. That's in work.
Top off of the fuel cells is being terminated.
OTC, PLT, caution warning memory is clear. There were no unexpected messages. Copy TLT. All flight crew members, close and lock your visors and initiate O2 flow. Visors and O2 flow.
TLS's go for ET, LH2 pressurization.
One minute, 30 seconds.
Now arming the sound suppression water system. T-minus 1 minute. Turning off the solid rocket booster joint heaters. SLB flight data recorder is being activated. Standing by to hand off from the ground launch sequencer to Atlantis' onboard computers at T-minus 31. And the handoff has occurred. Atlantis' computer is now controlling.
25 seconds. 20 seconds.
Firing chain armed. Sound suppression water system now activated.
10 seconds.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Go for main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And liftoff of Space Shuttle Atlantis with Destiny, a science laboratory for the 21st century.
Houston now controlling.
Houston, Atlantis, roll program.
Roger, roll, Atlantis.
The roll maneuver is complete aboard Atlantis. The vehicle's now in a heads-down position on course for a 51.6 degree, 201 statute mile orbit. Approaching 30 seconds into the flight, preparing to begin throttle down of the main engines as the vehicle prepares to pass through the area of maximum dynamic pressure on the orbiter. Seconds into the flight, Atlantis is already downrange from the launch site of 2.5 miles at an altitude now of 5 miles.
Atlantis, go at throttle up.
Go at throttle up.
Atlantis' 3 liquid-fueled engines are back at full throttle, approaching 1 minute 10 seconds into the flight. All systems in good shape. The hydraulic systems, auxiliary power units in excellent shape, as are the electricity-producing fuel cells aboard the vehicle. Atlantis already traveling 1,500 miles per hour. Downrange from the launch site, 10 miles at an altitude of 13 miles. 1 minute, 30 seconds into the flight. At this point, Atlantis has already burned more than 2 million pounds of fuel and weighs half of what it did at launch. All very quiet, all going very smoothly aboard the orbiter. Approaching 1 minute 50 seconds. The next event is burnout and separation of the twin solid rocket boosters, which consume about 10 tons of propellant every second. SRB separation confirmed. 2 minutes, 10 seconds into the flight. Atlantis traveling 3,000 miles per hour at an altitude of 31 miles, downrange from the launch site, 40 miles. Beautiful view of Atlantis on its external tank now and main engines, each producing 400 pounds of thrust. The twin orbital maneuvering systems now firing for a duration of 1 minute 42 seconds to assist with Atlantis' climb to orbit.
Atlantis Houston, 2-engine TOW.
2-engine TOW.
2 minutes 45 seconds into the flight, Atlantis can reach Zaragoza in Spain in the event of a single engine failure at this point. However, all three are continuing to perform in excellent shape. Three minutes into the flight, Commander Ken Cockrell on the forward portion of the flight deck. To his right, pilot Mark Polanski on his first ride to orbit. Between them and behind them, Marcia Ivins, the flight engineer, and behind Mark Polanski on the flight deck, astronaut and mission specialist Bob Kerbeam. Tom Jones, the lone crew member, down on the mid-deck. Atlantis traveling 4,100 miles per hour, already 100 miles uprange from the Kennedy Space Center, headed up the northeast coast of the United States at an altitude of 55 miles. Three minutes, 45 seconds into the flight.
Atlantis Houston, negative return.
That call indicating Atlantis can no longer return to the Kennedy Space Center in the event of an engine failure. Again, all three main engines still performing well, as are the electricity producing fuel cells and the hydraulic systems, the auxiliary power units aboard the space shuttle. Four minutes, 25 seconds into the flight, Atlantis traveling 5,600 miles per hour, downrange from the Space Center at the Kennedy Space Center, 200 miles at an altitude of 64 miles.
Atlantis Houston, press to ATO.
Press ATO.
Atlantis can reach orbit on two engines should one fail at this point, approaching or now just passing through 5 minutes into the flight, 3.5 minutes remaining in powered flight. All continue to go very smoothly, very quiet here in the flight control room as all systems are in excellent shape aboard the orbiter. Now traveling 7,000 miles per hour at an altitude of 66 miles, already downrange, approaching 300 miles from the Kennedy Space Center.